600 wins, 6 Georgia State championships, 16 regional championships, 2-time National Coach of the Year, first team from Georgia to win the City of Palms Classic, the nation's #1 high school tournament, first team in Georgia history to attend the Dick's Sporting Goods National Tournament of Championships. He's produced numerous NBA players and professional basketball players all over the world. It's real basketball talk. It's real help and real life with Coach Doug Lipscomb on the BG Podcast Network.
Come see the Carriage family and experience the Carriage difference.
Kia is keeping it real with the all-new 2018 K900. Drive the car LeBron James drives and other NBA players call their preferred vehicle of choice. And right now, Carriage Kia of Woodstock and Gainesville has your new K900 ready for delivery. Go online, handle everything, then upon completion, we will fly you in to pick up your new K900 or deliver it directly to you. Call Chris Stanford directly at 1-866-333-2122. That's 1-866-333-2122. Ask for Chris Stanford. Carriage Kia, 24/7, 365 days a year at carriagekia.com.
Come see the Carriage family and experience the Carriage difference.
Welcome back once again to Real Life Basketball, first week in March edition. Darren Sutherland and the legend, Doug Lipscomb, 600-win coach, Wheeler High School state championship. And Doug, let's just talk about it, man. Are you? This is the first year you've been out of it. Have you missed state tournament this year?
Well, I'm gonna be there. I've seen a lot of games. I've enjoyed going. It's definitely different for me.
Yeah. What is the? Let me ask you this, and I ask this for all the other coaches out there. What is the major difference in not coaching? Because there's been years that you've coached and you've been there. Then there's been years that you coached and you wasn't there. Now you're not there as a coach. What's the major difference you have in watching the games and that sort of thing?
Well, I can only think of one time in my whole coaching career that we didn't make state playoffs.
Well, I mean, not the state playoff. I mean, the finals. The finals coming up. So what's it like, watching the Final Four not being around?
Well, I mean, you get to watch how other people are executing, and those type of things. I'm still learning, as I get older. Good stuff. Good stuff,
and see how folks are good. Who surprised? You've watched a lot of state games this year in Georgia. We're going to talk about the NCAA tournaments in just a second. So if you ain't in Georgia, I apologize, but for just bear with us for just a moment. But Doug, who are some of the teams that just have some surprises that you've seen this year?
Well, there are really no surprises. I mean, these teams are like the usual suspects. They're in the mix every year.
They're in the mix. Well, Norcross is always there. Meadow Creek's been good for a few years now.
Yes.
And they beat a good Grayson team, had a great interview. And if you hadn't heard that interview we did with Joffrey Pierce last week, go back and listen to that interview. Great interview with the Grayson coach. And I will say this again. He is doing something nobody else in the state has ever done. He's building a basketball powerhouse at a football school. And, you can say, well, they done it at McEachern. McEachern ain't won like Grayson's won in football. I mean, they don't have state titles over McEachern yet, do they?
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do either. They've just been dominant in Cobb County. And I'm a Cobb County guy, but, it'd be like somebody building a basketball power at Lowndes. Gotcha. Maybe you ought to go down to Lowndes. You'll move to South Georgia.
We'll talk about that at another time.
You can go down there to Lowndes. Tiff County done pretty good in basketball down there, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. They're good every year.
What happened to that region down there? Ain't nobody showing up, Bainbridge didn't show up this year up here in the finals. Everybody got beat out in the South this year.
Well, I mean, they say it rolls in cycles.
So I guess it rolls. Hey, want to jump right in today and talk about the tournaments. A lot of big tournament wins this weekend. Lipscomb's in. I don't know if some of the things I saw, some of the things Doug saw this weekend. I watched 2 tournament finals yesterday. And the one I watched, the Big South, I think it was. The Big South. Radford versus Liberty. And game was tied with 2.2 something seconds to go. And the kid from Radford come down and hit the 3 right at the buzzer and watch that. Won that game. That was a fun game to watch.
Oh, yeah.
That was a fun game to watch. And then I watched Florida Gulf Coast Atlantic against Lipscomb. And every time I watch Lipscomb, I think of our buddy Jerry Myers up at 247 Sports, because that's where he played college basketball, and his dad's a legendary coach there. But Lipscomb won their game yesterday, and the Atlantic Sun Conference, and qualified for the NCAA tournament for the first time in the history of the school. So a big win for Lipscomb yesterday against Florida Gulf Coast. They were up at halftime, I think, 62-30. And I know a lot of times we don't talk about games, individual games, and we're not going to get into individual games today. We're going to just do pretty much predictions today. But, Doug, they were up 62-30, and Florida Gulf Coast Atlantic came back, and they were talking about some of the largest deficits in history where teams had come back. And they mentioned in 1991, Kentucky was losing to LSU by 31 points and come back and beat LSU. Wow. Let me tell you a funny LSU story since I brought it up. So I heard this is a true interview. I'm not making this up. So I'm watching the NCAA tournament, and they were interviewing Bobby Knight when he was at Indiana. And it was after the game, and they had just played LSU and beat a very good LSU team. You know, Dale Brown used to have some very good teams down there. Shaquille O'Neal played at LSU. There's been some good players come out of LSU. John Williams, a lot of other folks back in the day when Dale. There's an ESPN 30 for 30 with Dale Brown and Dale and Shaq. But anyway, they said, Bobby, what'd you think about today's game? And this is what Bobby Knight said. Bobby said, well, I looked at their team before we started, and I said, there ain't no way we match up with them physically. I looked at their team before we started, and there ain't no way we matched with them athletically. I looked at their team before we started, there ain't no way we matched with them talent-wise. Then I looked at who was coaching their team, and I looked at who was coaching our team, and I knew we would win.
Wow.
You ever said that about somebody?
No. Not at all.
Have you ever thought that about somebody?
No. No, not at all.
But anyway, that's what Bobby Knight said. That's what he said. He said, couldn't believe it. What was your weekend like, my friend?
It was good. Basketball all weekend. I had the opportunity to go over to Campbell and watch the Atlanta All-Star Showcase. It was a good atmosphere. Younger kids had a great time. And WNBA ladies were there, promoting basketball, which was good.
Yeah. So good times. And then this weekend, I'm sure you're going to state championships in Georgia, watching them.
Oh,
perhaps?
Yeah, no doubt.
No doubt. Going to see. You want to make any predictions on that front?
No, I don't want to upset anybody, but there are going to be some good games. Langston Hughes and against Gainesville.
Well, you know, come on, man. You got to root for Gainesville. I know Langston Hughes, your friend, but, Gainesville's where you went to school.
Most definitely.
You are a red elephant at heart.
All day.
All day, red elephant.
Yeah. And then, of course, you got Northcross and Meadow Creek. Going to be another good game.
Now, let me ask you this. Did you ever play Gainesville when you was coaching at Wheeler?
Yes.
Did you put the shoe on the neck when you could? I mean, against Gainesville, or did you just kind of pull it back?
No, we tightened it up, real tight.
But you didn't just put the knife down on the neck.
Well, we wanted them to tap out. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody else.
Is there any team you ever just put the noose on the neck and just put it there and kept dragging them down the road because you just didn't want they just talked junk too much or something and didn't want to? I know I'm putting you on the spot. We're doing a Facebook Live for the first time. I probably should put you on the spot like this.
This man said put a noose around that neck. Oh, that shit. I mean, excuse me, I'm sorry.
We should, you know what?
The drag on it, but not the noose. Come on now.
That's right. I know I shouldn't say that, but did you a knife? You said a noose. I said a knife.
Oh, okay. I thought you said drag him down the road.
No, I didn't say drag him. I would never say that.
Okay, no, don't say that.
Yeah.
But there are some teams, as you stick in coaching long enough that you really it becomes like you don't want to say it, but it becomes personal.
It does become personal. I remember when I was coaching Little League football, man. Dude, let me tell you something. When, by gosh, we played Ackworth, it was on.
Yeah.
We played, there was this one coach for East Cobb, okay? East Cobb Rams. You know what I'm talking about, right over there off, your school was right, we was right down the school from him. So I was over in McEachern coaching 6th grade football. Man, I tell you what, we come out, they ain't never seen it, because most time in Little League football, everybody runs on every play. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I had my quarterback in the shotgun, buddy. We started throwing passes from down one. They ain't never played pass defense in their life, and I just kept running the score up. Finally, it got so bad that the refs called a penalty every time I threw a pass because we were whooping them so bad.
Wow. What's the penalty?
What's that?
What's the penalty?
They'd call holding or offensive pass interference or illegal block below the knee, or they'd call something. Because, here we was completing 20-yard slants, and the kids were running touchdowns every pass, and the other kids ain't never played pass defense in their life. And I'm sitting here fussing at this coach. I tell you who was a ref, and he'll admit it. And there ain't a better man in Cobb County. He's one of your friends, Randy McClure.
Okay, yeah, the ref.
Randy was reffing the game. Randy come over and said, "Come on, coach. Come on now. Come on. Quit throwing a pass." And then I have my fans over here in the stands raising Cain. That's why I'm asking you, did you ever whoop anybody? We make these outlines, folks, on what we're going to talk about. Did we make any type of outline that we were going to be talking about Little League football?
Not at all.
Football? Not at all. Or talking about cutting a team's head off and,
dragging them
down the road. So anyway, Coach ain't never dragged no team down the road. I ain't either. We're not going to drag them down the road, but let's talk about the basketball and the tournaments. The Big Ten played their tournament this weekend, and usually we're not going to go game by game or anything like that, but Michigan beats Purdue. Final four was Michigan and Michigan State, and then Purdue and Penn State. And Purdue's had a pretty good year.
Yeah, they got a good team.
Purdue's had a good team, but Michigan wins the Big Ten and puts it on Purdue. Looking at that bracket right there, Coach, you got some bubble teams, you got some folks that we think bubble teams in action, that may be in play, but we're looking at the bubble teams in the Big Ten, so to speak. Nick, what are we looking at in the Big Ten? You had those numbers out earlier on where they're going to end up, and I'm looking at the Big Ten, seeing if I can't even find no bubble teams in the Big Ten. Is that the brackets there? Let's see that Sports Illustrated. This is the bracket watch team. Sports Illustrated's got Michigan going, Coach, which they've won the tournament, so they're in the tournament. So down, they got Ohio State going. They've got who else they got going on the other side of the bracket? It's a damn Purdue's going. Purdue's got to be on there somewhere. I don't even see Purdue. Purdue went down there. Yeah, Purdue's number one seed. I know they got to be going. But other than and Michigan State's got to be going. So if that's the four they're picking, you got Purdue. It'll be interesting since Penn State went to the Final Fours. But I don't think Penn State's going to make it just based on their stuff. But who knows? I'm not a Big Ten guy, so I just thought we needed to talk about it a little bit since the tournament was this weekend and we do a basketball show. But we concentrate mostly on ACC and SEC. So.
But what's always interesting is that Wisconsin's always somewhere in the mix.
Yeah. But they ain't this year. They lost to Michigan State by 3 points. They come in as a number 9 seed. And beat Maryland. It's awful tough for me just to remember Maryland is a Big Ten team now.
Yes.
Maryland to me was always the ACC team. When I think about Maryland, I think about Lefty Driesell. I think about Lynn Bias. I think about Buck Williams. I think about Adrian Branch. They had some good guys at Maryland back in the day.
Yes.
But they couldn't handle it in the ACC, so they left off. Let's go down to the American Athletic Conference, Coach, and look at those guys. And man alive, this is some good teams in the American Athletic Conference. That's the ACC. Let's see, what did we do with our papers, Nick, for the Atlantic Athletic Conference? Did we got them? Big 12. Here we go. It was in the back. You got first round, you got UConn, SMU. Talk about a team that has fell from grace. Now, I don't like to see coachings losing their job. But, I mean, UConn, we won a national championship, 2 or 3 years ago?
Yes, sir.
And now they're the 8th seed in the American Athletic Conference when they used to be in the Big East. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They in trouble. What do you think?
Well, of course, you know who's always at fault. It's the coach's fault. You know, like he's going out there missing layups and stuff like that. But, you know, that's what we sign up for.
Well, let me ask you this. You never had – pull that microphone up a little closer to you so we can hear.
Okay, I got you.
But you never had no problem worried about getting fired or getting let go over at Wheeler for coaching ability or anything like that. These guys got to know if they're making that kind of money. Because let's face it, they ain't working stiffs making teacher salary $60,000, $70,000 a year.
No, but what happens in the process is that you build a program and you put it on a level where expectations are going to remain high. And a lot of situations like that, they're not looking for a rebuilding year at all. They're looking for a reload year every year.
Well, let's just let's keep it real like we always do here on Real Life Basketball. His women's coach over there, do they ever have a problem reloading?
Not at all.
I mean, last time I checked, Connecticut's one of the only female basketball teams making a profit in the world, not just in the U.S., not just college or pros. But they make a better profit in Connecticut women's basketball than anybody in the country. So Gino has no problem. So I guess our boy over there's got a little trouble. But as we look at these brackets here from the AAAC, Coach, who you like in the Final Four here? I've got to go. I'm going to be a homer here. I've got Cincinnati and Memphis coming out of one side. I like our boy, our buddy over there,
Tubby.
Tubby. I like Tubby to bring it out and beat a good Tulsa team and beat a good South Florida team. Hey, can you be good being number 12? But we just call them good because you know them kids give it all they got. Somebody's trying. Got to be a little nice to folks, don't they? So in the back. So who you got coming out of the top there?
Well, I like was that a epiphany or something?
No, it was somebody calling the phone. Say, boom. It's his first time.
Well, they was going to let us
Live.
know. They were going to tell us who was calling us. I mean, who we should pick.
Yeah.
I like Wichita State.
On the bottom half, who you like up there at the top? What two teams you like at the top? See, I got Cincinnati coming out,
right,
and I got Memphis coming out. Then I'm gonna take Wichita State coming out, and then I'm gonna take Houston, and then I got Wichita State and Cincinnati in the finals, and I'm gonna take Wichita State. What you got?
Yeah, I like Wichita State, but don't count out Cincinnati, please.
Well, you got to name one because we're gonna write this down, and then next week we're gonna see.
Put it up. I'm going with Cincinnati.
You going with Cincy?
Yeah.
Nick, who you taking? We'll look over at our producer, Nick.
We got to go with old Kells Cotton's old team. I think go to Wichita.
To Kel Cotton out of Cobb County, Georgia.
I got to support him.
So he's going with Wichita. So we got 2 for Wichita,
okay,
1 for Cincinnati. So we'll move off the American. Let's look at the Pac-12. Where we got, Coach? What we going to do with the Pac-12? We don't get to see them much unless we up late at night. That's what I like about Pac-12 basketball. You go to Hawks game or you watch another game, then you do a little something, then you can watch the Pac-12 because it's on at 11 o'clock at night. Oregon has the best field, has the best looking court in America. Have you ever seen Oregon's court?
Oh, yeah.
The Ducks. So number 1 seed in that tournament is, I would like to say, Sean Miller in Arizona.
Yeah.
But Sean Miller,
he's back.
He's back?
He's back.
For how long?
Well, I mean, I hope that what comes out is that they were wrong in what they accused him of. And They even speculated about lawsuits and things like that. So we'll see.
You know what, man? I believe Joker got more than $100,000. I know the truth about it. If I was a betting man, and again, I don't know nobody's heart, and I don't know none of these people personally, like a lot of you folks do. I'm just a fan and the announcer here. I'm not a coach. I'm not in the recruiting process. But it's always been said that I thought if it walked like a duck, talked like a duck, acted like a duck, it's generally a duck. But anyway, Arizona is the number 1 seed coming in. Looks like they're going to play a tough Colorado Arizona State team. UCLA come out the number 4 seed by beating Southern Cal the other day. USC's the number 2 seed, and Utah's the number 3 seed. So what you looking at in the Pac-12? I've got Arizona coming out against UCLA. I'm going to take Arizona. I believe this, though. I believe the best thing that happened to UCLA this year was that ball kid getting gone to Lithuania. What do you think?
Well, it didn't hurt them.
You notice Daddy ain't, here's something. You notice this. Old Ball could say anything he wanted and get in the media. But then when he started talking, he was going to take on the NBA, the NCAA. You notice nobody's quoting what the man says no more.
Well, I think what we insiders know, he doesn't need to do any talking right now because he's making money.
Yeah.
So it behooves us sometimes just to be quiet.
He ain't liking to be quiet, though.
Well, I think if you look at his bank account, it might be profitable for him.
It is profitable for him. It's pretty decent for a defensive end that got cut by NFL teams to get his sons playing basketball. He's doing well, and I mean, But anyway, we won't get into all that.
And he put Lithuania on the map.
Yeah, he did. Lithuania, basketball powerhouse. Basketball power. So we got, let's see, we got Arizona taking on, I've got Arizona, UCLA. I'm going to go with USC and Oregon on the bottom side. I'm going to look for the Ducks to be playing Arizona in the finals on my side. And I'm going to take, believe it or not, I'm still going to go with Arizona because they got Mr. Ayton, and he's dominant. He will be the number 1 or number 2 pick in the NBA draft this year. I got a sneaky suspicion he's coming out, Coach. What do you think?
Yeah, if he could have left last week, he would have. But I'm thinking this is number 1 draft.
Can you imagine? Listen. I always like to put myself in the position of the stories we don't know and kind of build a story in my head. Okay? Can you imagine what his uncle or his cousin or whoever's thinking? All of a sudden, they get Sean Miller on the phone, and it's on national news. Well, we got $100,000, we'll give him. And you know the real story. Those jokers were a nervous cat that all of a sudden their names or somebody else's name's going to get mentioned in this FBI investigation. And bless their hearts, they still nervous to this day.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's nervous.
It's more to come.
There's more to come. But again, I'm going to go back and say this about the FBI, and I've said this for, 2 weeks now? They don't need to be messing with these kids or these coaches. They need to be worried about who's shooting up these schools. So I got Arizona coming out. Doug, who you got?
I like Arizona.
You like Arizona?
I want to give a shout-out to USC. It's one of the right guys up there. And Arizona State. They go that epiphany again. It just...
My phone rings constantly. We're going to have to get another phone to do this thing with me. And she's going to call back. That person is going to call back.
Do you want me to get the iPad out of the car? Or do you tell me that?
Nah, what's this worry about at this point? We done started on there. This was the first time we did this on the Facebook Live, Coach. We're on a Real Life Basketball. If you're listening on Real Life Basketball on the Facebook, hello. We appreciate y'all listening. This is show number 1 on this. Coach, I'm sure we're supposed to be looking at the camera doing something.
Okay. Well,
I'm
sorry.
More photogenic.
There you go. I got you. I'm going to catch on.
There you go.
Arizona State, that's Romello White from our area, and Jordan Usher
at USC.
Let's go.
So you got Arizona and USC in the finals, you think? Looking at that?
Yeah, let's get it. Let's go.
Nick, who you like?
I'm going to go a little wild and say Washington, UCLA in the finals with UCLA winning. I need that Ayton guy to drop a little in the draft so the Hawks can pick him up.
Hawks going to be in the lottery, ain't they?
Yeah, but they keep winning.
Have you noticed that? Let me tell you this. This is a true story.
Probably because people letting them win. No, I'm just kidding, man.
Nick, all right, here's a question for you. You're the producer of the show. You're a huge sports fan. You're a student at Georgia State. Other than Schroeder, the point guard with a little puff in his hair there, is that a birthmark or does he color his hair like that?
Color.
Yeah,
Colors?
color.
That's a good marketing piece because guess what? People know who he is.
Most definitely.
Stands out.
Have you seen the kids around Georgia?
What, they with a little puff?
Yeah, they all have it going. Right
There's a lot of high school kids doing that now?
Hadn't seen high
It
school.
was more
kids.
middle school.
Yeah. So anyway, let me ask you this, Nick. Name me 3 Hawks players other than Dennis Schroeder.
John Collins, Beyonce. Does Kent Bazemore still play for him? Kent?
Bazemore still there?
Thank you.
Tashawn Prince?
Hawks got a better team playing from Memphis right now. Hawks got a better team playing from Memphis Timberwolves right now.
Yeah.
Jeff Teague and Jamal Crawford playing up there.
Yes.
Kyle Korver over at Cleveland.
Al Horford's an all-star.
Al Horford at Boston.
They had the right intentions. They just didn't stick with it.
Carroll up there in Toronto.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Oh, Zaza gonna get another ring, maybe. Hurting people.
Joe Johnson's still in the league.
Who's Joe Johnson playing for?
I saw Joe plays for the Timberwolves, I think.
Yeah.
I think he got picked up by them. I think Utah dropped him and Minnesota came
He's
through.
still putting up buckets.
Yeah.
But I mean, Hawks got better players playing for other teams than they got for themselves. And who they got left playing for? What they get out of it?
We missed out on that, I guess.
We have a barbershop at our court now.
Got a barbershop? You got your hair cut down there yet, Coach?
No,
You gonna get your hair cut down
don't
there?
think so.
They got them Schroeder specials down there. Schroeder special. Anyway, go back. Let's go to all right. Let's move out of that. Go to the Big 12. Let's start getting down to it. The Big 12, big tournaments going on there. And let me tell you something, folks. All we've heard from national media all year long out of the Big 12 is Oklahoma. Oklahoma. Remember, Oklahoma got whooped by Alabama. You remember that? And they are actually the 9th seed. Trae Young and the guys are the 9th seed coming in. Number 1 seed, and that's Kansas. Number 2, Texas Tech. Number 3, West Virginia. Number 4, Kansas State. West Virginia is the only basketball team in the nation that may have oxygen on the sidelines. Did you know that?
I did not.
You know why?
No.
Because let me tell you something. I've gained 15 pounds, and I need some oxygen since the first year. And I know Bob Huggins got me by 100 pounds. And how hard do you work when you're out there coaching, Coach? When you stand on the sideline.
Yelling and screaming, yeah.
So if you weigh 325, 350 pounds, you think you'd be a little winded after it?
Most definitely. That's why he has a stool that sits up a little higher, so you
Really?
don't have to sit down.
Who was that big old fat guy for Ball State? Rick Majerus, was that his name?
Oh, yeah.
Went to Utah, ended up dying of a heart attack.
Yeah, rest his soul, yeah.
He was at Ball State, and then he went out there to Utah and built a big team out there. Next thing, good basketball coach.
Yep.
They always say white men can't jump, fat men can't even hardly move when they're out there. But anyway, in the Big 12, you got Kansas State, TCU, Kansas. Oklahoma has to play Kansas in the second round if they get by Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State's pretty good.
Oklahoma State is good. Let me ask you this. If for some reason Oklahoma is a bubble team to me, okay, and all the NCAA folks say they're a bubble team. Do you think in the NCAA's wisdom of getting people to watch the tournament, if a bubble team has a player like Trae Young that's going to be a top 5 to top 7 NBA draft pick, do you think they make the tournament over a team?
Yeah, they're gonna make the tournament, and they'll even be set up where they can win one game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but be careful because when you line them up like that, they get upset.
Yeah.
So.
Florida Gulf Coast Atlantic comes through and makes a Sweet 16. Never will forget when I was a kid. They got Oklahoma. Some folks got Oklahoma as high as number 3 seed, which kind of blows my mind considering they're the number 8 seed in their own league. But they didn't have a great league play. So you know what? Hey, they're going to make it. Kansas looking at number 2 seed coming out. But who you got? Who you got winning the Big 12, Coach?
Kansas. I could see them possibly matching up with West Virginia. I like Huggins.
I like Huggins. Huggins a good guy. Huggins a guy after my own heart. And you took Kansas. I'm gonna take. In all honesty, I'm gonna take. I'm gonna throw here. I'm gonna throw you a curveball right here. I'm liking Baylor. Baylor's long and fast, and got a good little team. Nick, who you got? And
I like Coach's idea on Kansas and West Virginia, and I think I'm going to pick West Virginia just because they have some kind of magic going on. They made a deal with the devil or something.
Huggins always making deals. He made them at Cincinnati, didn't he?
Hey,
He got what's his name? What's that guy's name?
Lance.
Lance was his man up there in Cincinnati. Pulled him out of Coach Tiny Morton school. Up there, we had Tiny on a couple weeks, and Tiny Morton's interview keeps being heard over and over and over. Folks like Tiny Morton. All right, we broke that down. Now we go to the big boys, the ones that we know, that we watch every day, every night, the SEC and the ACC, because we're down here with them. We see them every day. I'm going to tell you this, folks, and if you've listened at any at all, you know I'm a Georgia Bulldog at heart. I pull for Georgia. I make no bones about that. But Coach Mark Fox got us in the first round against a Vanderbilt team they've already lost to. Then they play Missouri. If they win, if they can win then they go play Kentucky. And by the way, they're playing Missouri in St. Louis. The SEC tournament is in St. Louis. So for whoever in the SEC world scheduled the SEC championship in St. Louis, how can the SEC be in St. Louis? I guess because Missouri plays in the conference. But so it's going to be a Missouri home game, and I promise you Kentucky's going to have people there if they was winning. So for the only way, I'm going to say this. I don't like to talk about people losing their job, but I think Mark Fox may be gone. What was your thoughts, Coach? I know he's a friend, and you don't want to talk bad about him, but Mark Fox got a rough road.
He definitely does, and like you said, he's a friendly person, but unfortunately, that a lot of people don't care.
Yeah,
so
care about winning.
Yeah, so it looks like some people will say the writing's on the wall, but
who you taking in that? If you had to place $100 on that Georgia Vanderbilt game in the first round, who would you take?
I think Georgia can squeak that game out, but that Missouri game, no. If they beat Vanderbilt, I'm not surprised. However, if they beat Missouri, I'm very surprised.
Yeah. South Carolina to Ole Miss, lower side of the bracket. Who you got?
South Carolina.
Yeah, I got South Carolina. Ole Miss is pitiful. Bless their heart. South Carolina. I think South Carolina, and then South Carolina will play a tough Arkansas team.
Yes.
I think South Carolina will pull out of that, to be honest with you.
It's going to be tough.
So, who you got when you're looking at LSU Mississippi State? That's a pretty good ball game right there.
Who you got on that one?
You know what? I'm going Mississippi State.
Yeah.
And you know why I'm saying Mississippi State? Because I seen Georgia beat LSU at home.
Okay, now I'm going to throw you a curveball.
All righty.
Back up at the top with Alabama and Texas A&M.
Man. Texas A&M has had a tough year. I think Texas A&M – I think Alabama's in the tournament regardless.
Why would you say that?
Because if we're going to use the same thing that we said for Colin Sexton – I mean, for Trey Young, we're going to use the same thing for Colin Sexton.
There we
okay?
go. Mm-hmm.
Alabama, beat a tough Auburn team. That's one of Auburn's losses. Alabama beat an Oklahoma team. But then at the same time, Alabama's lost to Mississippi State and they lost to Georgia. They lost to Ole Miss. But Colin Sexton was out a couple of those games when they lost. So,
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on now. Let's go back up. Rewind.
Okay.
I think Auburn beat Alabama.
Yeah, they played twice.
Yeah. So
They split the series.
without their best player playing in that game.
Well, Colin Sexton didn't play when they played him at home against Auburn. He played in the second game at Auburn. He didn't play in the first. Your kid, the kid that played for you, that plays over at Alabama.
Yeah, Daniel.
Daniel had a huge game that night against Auburn.
Well, I hope he has another one, but that next game right there between – so you going with Texas A&M?
You know what? Here's why I'm going for Texas A&M. Number one, because I like Amir.
Yeah.
Okay? That's number one. Okay?
And BK.
Yeah. And the coach over there at Texas A&M, he's had a tough year. I think at the beginning of the year, me and you picked Texas A&M second. Or maybe even third.
Yeah, second or third, yeah.
And what seed are they now? I can't even read this.
Ooh, eighth.
Eighth. Whew. Lord. And then they got to go to Auburn. Texas A&M, really, they're set up where if they beat Alabama, they could have upset an Auburn team, number one seed.
Ooh.
You don't think?
No. I can't roll with that one. So.
Well, I mean, I think they could pull an upset. Anybody can win on any given day.
Yeah, that's true.
I think their walk to the Final Four in the SEC championship is easier than a Georgia's walk would be. Georgia had to go through Missouri and then through Kentucky to get there. Texas A&M could be the sleeper team. There's always one sleeper team. So I'm gonna go. My sleeper team. Amir, you heard me say this, buddy. I'm taking you to beat Alabama. Then you're gonna come back and you're gonna beat Auburn. And I got Texas A&M coming out of the top side on my Final Four coach for the SEC. Who you got coming out of your Final Four?
I mean, Amir's family.
Yeah.
So.
But let's move family aside. We're putting dollar bills on this stuff.
Oh. Then you got Bruce Pearl.
Yeah.
Who says, I don't care what you say about me, I'm going to put my actions before my words. And he is handling this business. So Auburn looks real good to me.
So you got Auburn. Nick, let's run over to him and see who's he's got in that top side. You and Al, let's just be disclosure.
He's scared.
He's an Alabama guy.
He's still shaking.
You know, he went to Alabama for a while.
He's shaking.
Could still be going to Alabama.
Shaking.
You know they won't kick you out of school in Alabama for making bad grades. Did you know that? They just keep taking your money and let you stay there.
There it is.
Not that much, I agree. Yeah.
Is that the way they do it over in Nick?
Kind of. You have to cry a little bit.
And then they keep you in school?
Yeah, but I just watched A&M and Alabama. They played on Friday or Saturday, and a fight almost broke out. So I'm pretty excited for that game. I'm going to take Alabama beating A&M. I think Auburn's going to choke in the quarterfinals. We're going to go over. My Final Four is going to be.
Just tell me the top one right now. Don't
Your top one?
Alabama coming out of there?
I guess Alabama's coming out.
Look at Homer picking Alabama. You knew he was going to pick Alabama.
You could not catch me dead picking Auburn.
You got to be, you want to be this sports broadcaster. You got to be genuine. I bleed red and black. I went to Pasadena to the Rose Bowl. I want Georgia to have a good basketball team.
Yes.
I really do. It's good for the state if Georgia has a good basketball team because we send in players to Alabama. If Georgia had a good basketball team, Colin Sexton would be playing for the Bulldogs and not playing for Alabama.
Dang, you just kicked Georgia Tech under the bus then, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. Georgia Tech's, bless their heart, Josh, good man. But anyway, so all three of us got somebody different coming to the top. All right, let's go to that middle bracket. Georgia Vanderbilt. Coach says it's a toss-up to him, didn't you? I took Vandy. You take Georgia or Vanderbilt, Coach?
I'm going to give Georgia some. They got to come with it.
Nick, who you taking?
I'm going to take Georgia as bad as
you want to.
As bad as Mark Fox is.
Okay, so now I'll take 2-on-1 because I took Vandy because Vandy's done beat Georgia once. Okay, so now how many people we got listed? We got 5 out there. So give us a shout out on the Facebook Live there, folks. This is the first time we've done our podcast and put it on Facebook Live, and if I'd have known, I'd have shaved for the occasion. But keeping it real, Coach.
But I tell you what,
That's why I'm off.
if I was on Georgia and I was on that team, I would say, we're near the bottom. Well,
I can't believe they're near the bottom. I had them top 4 at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. And no disrespect to Vanderbilt, but Georgia, you got it.
Come on, what's Vanderbilt? I mean, who's the biggest? Let me ask you this question. You played basketball at Middle Tennessee State. You've been around the SEC all your life. Name one basketball player out of Vanderbilt in your whole entire life. I can name one. And the only reason I can name one is because he played alongside Michael Jordan. You remember who it was?
Still, no.
Will Purdue. Daggone, Will Purdue. That's the only basketball player. I mean, there's been some good basketball players. But, Anyway, Will Purdue is the best basketball player in Vanderbilt history. And that's how many years ago?
Jeez. In the early 90s or something?
And they have the absolute worst arena in all of college basketball, playing on that stage.
Yes.
It's awful. So anyway, okay, we got Georgia, Missouri. Nick, who you got?
Taking the home team, Missouri.
Yeah, they're playing in St. Louis. Missouri, it's a home game. Missouri's going to fill that place up.
Oh, yeah.
Think about how good if that kid hadn't got hurt. What was his name, Porter?
Porter.
He's back.
Yeah, he's back. But is he coming out, Coach, you think?
Oh, yeah. Peace.
You think? There you go. Porter's coming. So you got Missouri. Okay, so we'll all take Missouri. So we got Missouri coming out against Kentucky. Lord have mercy. We'll talk about a game. If Porter wants to make an impact and wants to show everybody that he was the real deal before he gets hurt, and he plays the Fab Five with Kentucky, they're playing in St. Louis. The Kentucky faithful will be there. The Missouri faithful will be there. That's the biggest game of the tournament, I think, right there as far as crowd goes. Now, if I'm the promoter there, I'm wanting Missouri to win.
Is Porter playing in that game?
If he's back, he's playing.
He's playing.
I will say this. If Porter's playing, I'm taking Missouri. If Porter's not playing, I'm taking Kentucky.
Missouri's good. And Kentucky's young. They should be gelling right now.
Yeah. So does Kentucky win the game if they play Missouri?
No.
No. Nick, what you think?
I think Missouri wins.
You think Missouri? I think Missouri wins too. And here's the next question. How far does the number 4 seed Kentucky fall in the NCAA brackets if they lose in basically their first round game against
Well, let me
Missouri?
say this. Some got them picked as a 5 seed. So here we go.
Yeah. Missouri. So we got Missouri and Texas A&M in the top half between us guys. Is what we're saying here today.
I got Missouri and Bama.
I got Missouri and Auburn.
Well, yeah, Missouri, Auburn, Missouri, Texas A&M. We'll figure it out. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go LSU, Mississippi State. I took Mississippi State. Coach, who'd you take?
Mississippi State.
Nick?
Mississippi State.
Mississippi State. All right, then we got South Carolina, Ole Miss. We got Carolina coming through. So we got Carolina, Arkansas. I got Carolina. Who you got? I think Frank Martin pulls them through. Carolina, Arkansas, Coach.
I got Arkansas.
Nolan Richardson ain't coaching, Coach.
No, but they're going to play hard. They're going to play hard.
That's a job that somebody should have jumped in there and took. Arkansas used to be the place to coach.
Yeah, and this is a good. They got Mike Anderson. Isn't he there now?
Yeah, I think so. But Arkansas used to be on the national platform every year, year after year. Didn't Nolan's son go down there for a while and try to coach?
I'm not sure.
I think so. I think he did. I don't remember. All right, so we got 2-1. So we got to take who you got. Who you got? Arkansas and Florida, Coach. Florida coming in at number 3 seed. We both had Florida at the beginning of the year winning the SEC. Both of us. Florida, the Gators. Coach got the Gators. Nick, you got South Carolina and Florida coming out there. Who you got?
Florida.
I think I've got Florida too.
South Carolina don't have the depth.
South Carolina, all they're going to do is make the NIT this year. Dude, how can they qualify for the tournament? They come in as a 10 seed or a 9 seed, and they just win 2 tournament games. They're going to have to, for South Carolina to return to the NCAA, they're going to have to run the table.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
I mean, and Frank's under investigation with the FBI too.
But they have the potential. They have the potential to beat people.
Yeah, they do. They almost lost to Georgia though. I watched that game, Stagman Coliseum, when they played Georgia. Did you see that? They almost lost this year.
Yeah.
They almost lost, which kind of shocked me. Mississippi State and Tennessee.
The Vols.
Vols. I got the Vols. Nick, what you thinking?
I'll take the co-SEC champs. I'll take Vols.
The co-SEC champ. Who placed money on that at the start of the year?
Nobody.
But they have a heck of a coach in Rick Barnes.
Yes.
Do you think Texas wish they'd have held on to him instead of getting Shaka over there? In all honesty.
Well, some people have always said change is good.
You know why I think they got Shaka over at Texas more than anything else? Texas is like Notre Dame. They're an entity unto themselves. They got their own TV network. Rick Barnes is a great basketball coach, okay? But he's not a showman. His teams aren't showmen. When have you ever known of a great Rick Barnes player? No matter what. They're always just solid, fundamentally built basketball team. Shaka plays at full court, okay?
Who did Durant play for?
Durant played for
Texas.
He played for
Yeah.
Texas.
Who was his coach?
Yeah, that's right. But he didn't stay but a year, so it really don't count.
He got him, though.
You think he got him like one of them phone calls where they got 8?
No, he's not on a phone call.
He's not
No, he's not on a phone call.
not on a phone call. Oh, by the way, so we'll talk about this before we go to ACC. I want bring me back to phone calls when we go back to ACC in just a minute. So we got Tennessee and Florida. Nick, who you taking?
Florida.
Florida. Coach, Tennessee and Florida. Who you got?
Florida.
I'm going with Tennessee.
That point guard for Florida makes a lot happen.
All right. Texas A&M at Missouri or Auburn at Missouri. Nick, who you got?
I got Missouri. I think they made a little dream run.
Missouri going to the finals in St. Louis. Boy, them people up there in St. Louis are loving you today as listeners are tuning out, saying he crazy. Why am I listening to that mess? He must be thinking Mr. Porter's going to have the tournament of his life. If Porter, let me tell you this, if Porter takes them to the finals in the SEC tournament, okay, or they win the SEC tournament, he's a top 3 pick.
He's going to be top 7. I mean, anyway.
But I'm saying if they go to the finals in the SEC tournament, he's top 3. I think he jumps Young. I think he jumps Sexton.
Did you forget about Bagley?
Oh, I said Bagley and 8 and 1 too. It don't make no difference.
All right.
Unless Porter grows 6 inches and becomes 7'3", okay, or 7'6" or whatever. But Bagley and 8 and 1 too, regardless. I think Bagley's 1 no matter what.
Yes.
I'd be scared of that though.
Where you going to put Wendell Carter in there?
I think Wendell Carter's 6 or 7. I think Wendell Carter. Here's what I think with Wendell Carter. We'll come back to this in just a minute when we get through this. But I think Wendell Carter does not get the credit he deserves because he plays with Bagley. You know, I think if Wendell Carter had played at Kentucky, I think he would have got more accolades.
Yeah, he's very versatile.
Because with that Duke team, I mean, you got Grayson Allen, you got all these folks, and you know, you got Trent. You know, the names go on and on. I mean, more common fans can name players on Duke than they can any other team this year. And Duke ain't even going to be a number 1 seed going into the tournament. We'll talk about that in just a minute. So Nick's got Missouri. Who you got, Coach? You got Texas A&M and Missouri. Texas. Who'd you? No, you had Auburn. You had Auburn against Missouri.
I'm rolling with Bruce.
You staying with Mr. Pearl.
Right.
Mr. Pearl needs to hire you as a coach down there.
No, I'm fine.
You fine?
I don't want him checking my phone and all that kind of stuff.
I got Texas A&M and Missouri in that game. And our Kentucky fans, they just going to be – everybody thinks I hate Kentucky anyway. I kind of do. I ain't never liked Kentucky. I was eating at a restaurant the other day. This is no joke. It's called the Hot Skillet. It's over on Powder Springs Road. And I walked in there and they had some Kentucky paraphernalia on the wall. And I said, you a Kentucky fan? She said, yes, I'm a Kentucky fan. I said, what do you think about the team? She said, I hate John Calipari. Those are her words exactly. I said, why do you hate John Calipari? She said, a real Kentucky fan. Now, this is how country this woman was. I'm going to tell you what she said. She said, a real Kentucky fan don't like Cal because all he cares about is the NBA and getting them kids the money and getting them in the NBA. A real Kentucky fan wants the kids to stay there for 4 years and win championships.
That's her opinion.
She was very vocal with her opinion, too.
Yeah.
She loved Tubby Smith. I asked her why Tubby Smith got gone. She said, I can't comment on that.
Right.
It's true. It's what she said. It's true. It's what she said. I mean, anyway, she said Kentucky wasn't ready for Tubby Smith. Basically what it amounts to.
Yeah. That's true.
That is
There's
true.
a lot of things that they weren't ready for, but once again, change is good.
They wasn't ready for a UTEP team one year either, was it?
All Middle Tennessee State team either. Don't forget that.
Yeah. Yeah, UTEP come down in that championship game. Old Pat Riley and them thought they was going to shine and win, and all of a sudden these guys just boom got stomped in the championship. So I got to pick Texas A&M, Missouri. You know what? They're playing in St. Louis. Missouri's on a run. I got since I've lined it up this way, I've got to go to Missouri. So now I've got Missouri, Tennessee. I'm gonna say Tennessee wins the SEC title.
Whew.
Rick Barnes and the guys. And you know what? I bet I could have got 100-1 odds on that at the beginning of the season.
For sure.
That means go put, if you don't know what 100-1 odds means, that means I could have gone and put $1 down and won $100. I put 1,000 and won $100,000. Floyd Mayweather probably did that.
Big money.
Big money. Who you got, Coach? You got Florida and Auburn, which that's what TV wants, quite frankly.
Oh, it's gonna happen. Yeah, I see it. Auburn. Circle
So
that.
I got Tennessee. Coach got Auburn. Nick, you got Missouri and Florida. Who you taking?
Florida.
All of us got somebody a little different.
That's what I trust.
Bracketology right now in the SEC says here's who they got making it. They got Florida in as a 5 seed before the tournament. Missouri in as an 11 seed. Looking down, Alabama in as a 9 seed, which is surprising to y'all. Texas A&M is a 10 seed. SEC is very strong this year, by the way. Arkansas is a 10 seed.
If Kentucky's a 5 seed.
Kentucky's a 5 seed. Auburn's a 2. If Auburn wins it like you said they do, Coach, they have a shot at getting a 1 seed if somebody gets upset. Tennessee's a 4 seed. If Tennessee wins, they'll end up a 2 seed, I believe. So,
Well, you're seeing that bracket up there. You got Virginia's number 1 seed.
yeah. But I don't think Virginia can win it.
Now, am I looking this wrong? Because I see Oklahoma as a 3 seed over here.
That's what they say, which blows my mind. How can Oklahoma be a 9 seed in the Big 12 but end up being a 3 seed in the bracketology from CBS and Sports Illustrated? Makes no sense. Let's move on to the ACC. The big ACC, the granddaddy of them all, the ones that started the tournament. And they're playing in Brooklyn, New York this year, Coach.
Okay.
Brooklyn. So that means Syracuse has a home field advantage, and it means Duke has a home field advantage, and UNC has a home court advantage. Everybody else is just in trouble. Let's go to that first round game. Take our buddy Josh Pastor and Georgia Tech against Boston College. Starts tomorrow afternoon at noon on ESPN2. Boston College and Georgia Tech. Who you got?
Hey, Josh, you're a good dude, man. But Todrick, good guy, Boston College.
Let me point this out real quick, and I don't know if you remember this, Coach. I'm going to go with Boston College, too. Nick, who you going with?
Boston College.
All of us going with Boston College. Do you know who you picked to come in second in the SEC this year? I mean the ACC.
Boston College.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
They number 12.
I know, they lapsed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a
my
team.
fault.
Yeah. Here's an underachieving team this year. Notre Dame at Pitt. I had Notre Dame at second in the ACC, maybe third, if I can remember correctly. I got them beating Pitt. Nick, where you got Notre Dame and Pitt?
I got them beating an 8-23 team. I'll take Notre Dame.
Yeah. Who you got Notre Dame and Pitt, Coach?
Notre Dame.
Yeah. Yeah. But we had Notre Dame ranked high going into the season.
Oh, yeah.
They've had some trouble. Syracuse and Wake Forest.
The Q's.
Syracuse, Jim Boeheim, and the matchup zone.
There it is.
You think he'll ever change that defense?
Doesn't have to. I mean, those W's over there are saying, then they want to take some away. You know how that goes.
Yeah. What happened? Some assistant coach did something, didn't he?
There's no telling.
Anyway.
No.
This Danny Manning's swan song at Wake Forest.
It's a hard place to recruit, regardless. I don't care if they had who you name somebody. It's going to be
Jeff
hard.
Teague.
It's going to be hard.
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul. They had Chris Paul.
Yeah.
They've always had good guards there.
But
Remember old Muggsy Bogues?
Oh yeah.
What was he like? 4'11"?
And got it done.
Got it done. Made the NBA.
So, having said that,
Wake Forest. Is this Danny's swan song?
I think it is.
I do too. I don't know why he left it. Where was he at before he went there?
Wasn't he assistant at Kansas?
I don't know. I don't remember. He was somewhere. All right, so we move to the next round. You got Florida State in Louisville. I'm going with our buddies at Florida State, man. I got to stick with FSU. They've been good to us this year. What you got, Coach?
Darius, come on, man. Just play hard as heck. That's all I'm saying. And I got to roll with Florida State. Coach Hamilton, no joke.
Coach Hamilton's done a good job. And Stan, our buddy, Stan Jones.
Stan Jones, yes.
Our good friend at Real Life Basketball. Nick, Florida State and Louisville.
I think Louisville shows up in March. I'm going to take Louisville.
Louisville's going back there with Patino. They done lost so much this year, but we're gonna let you throw that. Nick, Boston College, NC State.
I'm taking NC State.
Coach, what you got?
NC State.
I'm going with Boston College, and here's why. Because in this FBI investigation, Duke got mentioned and North Carolina got mentioned. But you know who else got mentioned? NC State got mentioned. So, if you're the NCAA and you got to make an example out of one of the teams on Tobacco Road, and all things being equal, who you going to make an example of? NC State, North Carolina, or Duke?
They would make an example out of NC State.
Exactly.
However, somebody's going to say, well, what about those other two?
Anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Boston College. Y'all both got NC State. We'll come back to that. Notre Dame, Virginia Tech. Who you got, Nick?
Tech.
Tech. Coach?
Tech.
I got to go with Notre Dame. So I'm going to let y'all take Tech. I'm going to take Notre Dame. And then we got Syracuse and UNC. Jim Boeheim against Roy, Big Boy Roy. Coach, I know you going with Roy.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. Nick, what you got?
I got UNC. I got the Tar Heels.
I'm going with Syracuse in upset.
Ooh.
I think Roy just don't have the team he once had. And I like Roy. I like North Carolina. If I got a second favorite past Georgia, probably North Carolina. My daddy's from there, so I got to go with him. Syracuse and Miami, Coach. Or North Carolina and Miami. You got North Carolina and Miami. Who you got?
Whoa. Miami's solid. They are solid.
They got beat by Georgia Tech. That's how solid they are.
Well, wasn't somebody suspended or something?
I don't know. It doesn't matter if 10 people were suspended. They got beat by Georgia Tech. Come on.
Hey, listen, this ain't going to be at Georgia Tech, you know.
It's in Brooklyn.
Okay.
UNC is basically a home game. 9 o'clock, Thursday night, national TV, Miami, UNC. Who you got?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go. I like Roy. He's a great guy, man. Miami.
You going with Miami. Nick,
There it
what you
is.
got?
I'm with DeQuan Jones. I'm taking Miami.
Right.
Y'all going both
The U,
Miami?
baby.
You know what? I'm taking Syracuse. I've got Syracuse beating Miami and beating UNC. Duke against Notre Dame. I'm going to just be honest with you. I got Duke, okay? You got Duke, and they're going to kill Virginia Tech. And here's why they're going to kill Virginia. If they get there, Virginia Tech gets there. Y'all pick Virginia Tech. I took Notre Dame.
Yeah.
But if Virginia Tech gets there, I'm going to tell you what. Grayson Allen's going to be in that locker room for the game. And he's going to say, these jokers made us look like a fool 2 weeks ago on national TV when they stormed the court, and I couldn't even get in here to take my shoes off, and some dude hit me in the back of my head. I promise you Duke will beat Virginia Tech by 20. And I'd lay money on that.
20?
20. 20. in a 2-quarter college basketball game. 20. Who you got Duke and Virginia Tech?
I
Nick?
got Duke. Oh,
Nick?
I'm sorry.
I got Duke by a lot.
You got Duke, Coach?
I got Duke. I'd give them like 11, 12, but not 20 plus.
If they play Virginia Tech, I got them
I'm
by
on
20.
the 20 side, too.
I got 20 if they play them.
20 piece.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Clemson coming in at number 4 seed. And biggest news about Clemson all year long was they lost Zion Williamson to Duke.
You mentioned them though, see? You
I know.
mentioned them.
But you got Clemson. Y'all got Clemson, NC State. I got Clemson, Boston College. I'll take Clemson. Nick, who you got? Clemson, NC State.
I'll take Clemson.
Yep. Coach, Clemson, NC State.
I'm going to have to go with NC State.
You know what? Truth of the matter is, if NC State makes it there, now I got Boston College upsetting NC State, but if NC State makes it there, I believe NC State will beat Clemson. I watched NC State beat a good North Carolina team this year.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Nick and me was going with Clemson. Coach, you going with NC State. Coach, Virginia at FSU.
Virginia.
Yeah. I got Virginia. Nick, you got Virginia and Louisville.
Virginia.
Virginia, that's the only one other than Duke that's a – let's stay at the top. Nick, you got Virginia and Clemson. Who you going with?
Virginia.
Virginia? I'm going with Virginia also. Coach, you going with Virginia?
Yeah, and you ought to mention something about Virginia. Virginia plays their butts off on defense.
Yeah.
And they play very good team basketball.
And their free throw percentage is awful good too.
Yeah.
They pass the ball. They pass the ball extremely well. Duke, NBA Light versus Miami. Nick?
I'm going to take the upset. I'm going to take Miami.
Hey, you just cause you're a damn homer. His daddy went to Miami. That's why he's picking Miami all the way through, Coach. It ain't because of DeQuan Jones. It ain't because of that.
It's because of DeQuan Jones. DeQuan, if you're listening, it's all because of you.
Coach, who you got? Miami and Duke.
Bagley.
Duke.
Yeah.
I got Duke and Syracuse. Syracuse, the run is over. You're playing in Brooklyn. I know you're in your home state, but Duke will have more fans in Brooklyn than Syracuse will. Duke goes to the finals. Duke. Nick, you got Miami and Virginia. I'll let you call this one first.
Virginia.
Nick takes Virginia as the ACC champion. That will secure them a number 1 seed in the tournament if they win. Coach, I'm taking Duke over Virginia, and here's why. I saw Virginia beat Duke. I said it when it happened. You remember I made this post on Real Life Basketball Podcast. I said, Virginia, get all you can get right now, because when these kids get ready, they're going to wear you out. And I think Duke is going to wear it. So I got Duke coming down as the ACC champion. What you got, Coach?
Virginia.
You got Virginia.
Yes.
Wow. So let's run down our champions real quick as we close it out. American Athletic Conference. Darren's got Wichita State. Coach got Cincinnati. Nick's got Wichita State. Pac-12, Arizona for me. Arizona for the coach. UCLA for Nick. The Big 12, Nick's got West Virginia and the big man. Coach picked the easy one, Kansas. I picked a little upset in Baylor. As we go to SEC, Nick took Florida. Coach took the number 1 seed, Auburn Tigers, War Eagles, Plainsmen, whatever they think their name is this week. And I took the Vols, no Smoky. Woo! Tennessee just don't even seem like it should have a basketball team. But, they've had some great players.
Oh, yeah, now.
Dale Ellis, right here in Marietta. Bernard King.
Ernie Granzel.
Yeah. But, and that orange, man, that's enough to blind anybody, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'd blind me.
I mean, now, they are fanatics up there as well.
Yeah.
How many coaches they hire in about a month? About 4?
Yeah.
You want the job, or you want the job. Okay, no, I'll change my mind.
I remember seeing on TV one time talking about Tennessee. I remember before they fired Bruce Pearl. He went to a women's game. He was at a women's game, Pat Head Summit. Had his shirt off and painted his face and his whole fat body orange.
Yeah.
And was standing there in the student section.
Yeah, that's my guy. He's still orange. You know that? It didn't change. He's still orange.
Donald Trump's orange too. Is he still your guy?
Heck no. I almost said a cuss word. Yeah.
Anyway. You know what? So that's we got Tennessee. And then the ACC, Nick takes Virginia. I take Duke. Coach takes Virginia. Going to be some fun games, Coach. Going to be some fun games this week.
I want y'all, I got on my glasses. We're going to get that sponsorship on the new glasses here real soon.
Lens Crafters, where you at?
Can you help me see where they have Middle Tennessee State on here? I'm serious because I don't
Let me look. This is the bracketology thing from CBS Sports. Number 12 seed in the West against Texas Tech. These are the projections.
Yeah.
We're looking at the projections here, folks. So these are the projections, and they got some good games. They got SEC with a bunch of teams in there, man. Missouri, Texas. I got Texas A&M making it. Which, unless Texas A&M makes a run, I don't see them making it.
Hold up. This is. You got Texas A&M is like an 8th or 9th seed. And Middle's crushing people, and they got Middle.
But you got to remember, they're not a power conference.
Hey, everybody that they kicked ain't in the conference.
You know how many of our listeners care about Middle Tennessee State?
A lot of them. Hey, y'all already know. Let's go Raiders.
That's just because they use. That'd be like me saying, West Georgia, let's go. Let's go to
Georgia State, let's do it.
Georgia State, let's do it. Okay. Georgia State. Talking about Georgia State. Coach, you brought this up before the show. Okay. What's Georgia State's coach's name?
Ron Hunter.
Ron Hunter.
Sherman White.
Sherman White, our guy, coaches with him. Let's just pretend, because we don't like to talk about coaches getting fired. Well, that's not in our vocabulary. We talk about coaches resigning or getting replaced. If you're the athletic director of Georgia, Coach, off the top of your head, who do you go looking for?
You talking to me?
Yeah. You know the coaches. You know the coaching business better than the rest of them.
Well,
You go get a top high school guy in Georgia and bring him into Georgia. You go get a second, smaller college. You go get Middle Tennessee State's coach. What do you do?
Well, I'm sure he could get the job done if you're talking about Middle Tennessee State coach. But it's definitely got to be someone with the ties to bring kids from the state. I mean, if Auburn can do it, you're going to tell me we can't do it? Come on. Yeah.
If you had the opportunity to get the best player from Wheeler, McEachern, and Norcross year after year, and then just throw one in there from like Newton or somewhere else around the state and sprinkle a kid in like that. Pebblebrook,
Yeah.
Buford,
Yeah.
Langston Hughes.
Yes.
If you could sprinkle one of them kids in there around the state, do you think Georgia, just recruiting with inside the boundaries of the walls of the state of Georgia, could have a top 10 program year after year?
I do. Let's just take, for example, let's just use Auburn.
Yeah.
Okay, you got Harper
Yeah.
from Pebblebrook. You got my kid from Westlake.
Yeah.
And then you got those two kids. Okay, now let's just go right on over there to Alabama.
Yeah.
Sexton, Daniel Giddens.
Yeah.
And it's definitely another kid I left off Auburn's team, a really good scorer.
Yeah.
So, wait a minute, I'm missing somebody somewhere?
Somebody.
Yeah, I mean, SEC, ACC.
You got good kids.
Yeah.
You got real good kids.
Darius, Perry.
Wendell Carter.
Yeah.
Did Georgia even have a shot at getting Wendell Carter from Pace when he was leaving? Do you think even Mark Fox even made a visit over there to shake his hand?
Okay, now let's do something real quick.
I promise they some Pace alumni went to University of Georgia.
Georgia, Duke, maybe. You see my arm? Okay.
Yeah, I see your arm.
All right, okay. Yeah, so.
But you know what? They some probably big money Georgia people that got
No
some Pace
doubt.
connection.
No doubt.
Just as big a money as Duke.
Yeah. Well,
Is Duke smarter where they put their money? I guess Georgia worrying about football.
well, it's always beneficial to have both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duke ain't playing no football though.
Well, they got a team,
They've done well.
If you watch Duke lately, you see they have a Kasheskyville
Right.
with the tents out
Yeah.
there, waiting to get tickets, I assume, or they just camping out or whatever.
They just camping it. Who you bring in, Coach Georgia? Who would you like to see? Who would you like to see If Coach Doug Lipscomb was the athletic director, and we're just being fantasy here, and we're not wanting Mark Fox to lose his job, but if he does lose his job, and this is how I'm posing this question, because I think he's going to lose his job. I've never met Mark, but
wow, that's tough. I mean, it's not tough, but I mean, it's got to be somebody that fits
right,
this
the system.
Yeah, the system that is going to go after these Georgia kids and got a chance to get them. Well, let me ponder that. Who do you think?
George Wallace, Pellbrook's coach.
George is good.
George, because here's why. Georgia knows the AAU circuit. He knows the state of Georgia basketball. He's young. People in Georgia know who he is. The coaches in Georgia respect him. And look at what he's already produced.
George Washington.
George Washington.
Okay, well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Okay, since we're just throwing names out there, then you could go ahead and throw out Sherman White.
Sherman would be a good one.
Ron Hunter. He has a staff.
Ron Hunter would be an excellent coach, but Ron probably, I'm talking about getting a young guy.
What's up? What's old? I could say Doug Lipscomb.
Doug Lipscomb.
Hey,
You
I'm
could do
it. Yeah. And I think his coaching staff.
If you get to Georgia's job, I better get a damn assistant position.
If you get to Georgia, if I get to Georgia's job, we just hit the lottery. You know what I'm saying? It's not. But they're gonna need somebody that has contacts.
And I ain't carrying no towels neither, by the way.
I have somebody to do all that for us.
Okay, good. I'm gonna sit there in my suit and look good every day.
Hell, you can be like Huggins. He never wore a suit. He just had like a little pullover or something. Yeah. Remember they used to wear those sweater vests?
I'm a marketing genius. I'll have us having something, like Wimp Sanderson's old jackets.
Heck no.
Or, Bobby Knight wore them old, what was it? Them old barber sweaters.
Yeah,
or sweater, yeah.
Sleeveless sweater.
Sleeveless sweaters. He must be sick or something, 'cause he ain't on TV at nothing.
Well, they probably tell him to calm down a little bit.
He done cussed everybody.
Yeah, pretty
Talk
much.
about women bad and everything else. Yeah. Hey, man, it's been a good show. Next week at this time, we'll know who's going to the tournament almost.
That's it. Almost.
Well, we will know who goes to the tournament. It comes on next Sunday night. They announce it. Tournament 64 starts Tuesday night in Dayton, Ohio. 11 and 12 seeds play. The play-in games is 64. The tournament is 68 now? I don't know.
Yes.
I always thought they ought to just open it up. Let every team go to the tournament.
Heck no.
Why?
I mean, then that's the case. You and I can get a team together.
Well, who was it down there? Who was that team down there that played Gonzaga this year? Holy Incarnates or whatever we talked about. Remember that crap?
They played Texas A&M, wasn't it? Somebody like that.
Our Lady of the Emmanuel Conception.
With all 25 students, huh?
That's like
Terrible.
my grandmama, God bless her soul. Listen to this, making fun of them names like that. Back in the day when me and you was coming along, and you know what? I appreciate ministries, and I'm a Christian man. Everybody knows that listens to us and pays attention. But there was a date and time where if you didn't put a church in a church building, nobody thought it was a church. You know what I'm saying, Doug? So they started putting them in convenience stores.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm talking about. So churches in convenience stores. And these people would name these churches. And my grandma one time, she said, what are they going to name that church? And I looked at her and I says, Body of Deliverance Baptist Methodist Episcopal Deliverance Church of God in Christ number 2. Because they already had a number 1.
Yeah, name will exclude anybody. Huh?
So that's what we're going to name our college team, Coach. Body of Deliverance, Church of God, Church of Christ, number 2. Anyway, it's been fun as always, Coach. Been fun.
Yeah.
Got anything else you want to close out with?
Well, I just wish the NCAA, no disrespect, but NCAA just fall back. I mean, really. I mean, this is ridiculous.
I still say this. If Ayton, Bagley, Trey Young, Colin Sexton, Wendell Carter, Trent, all you guys, you're being used. LeBron, I remember I was going to tell you about this before we close. I seen an article, and I think I forwarded it to you. They asked LeBron what he thought about the NCAA. Mm-hmm. He said they need to get rid of it. He said the NBA needs to develop a minor league very similar. And he said, I've got 2 sons that are very good. And apparently his 2 sons are very, very well recruited AAU players, 11 and 12 years old.
Well, the name doesn't hurt either.
No. You know. Michael Jordan's son always recruited well,
Especially
too.
when your son's name is LeBron James Jr.
Yeah. Who's your dad?
Yeah.
Would you put Michael Jordan's son on your Wheeler team?
Yeah.
If he couldn't have played, would you put him on the team?
I mean, he could play. He could play.
He could play?
Both of them.
But he ain't playing, though. He ain't in the league.
Well, let me tell you something. He had so much clout. He went to college, and I think they had one sponsor. The sponsor changed when he got there, okay?
You know, David Robinson's son up there at Duke. I wonder if he's on scholarship.
Probably didn't have to.
No. The Admiral just says, hello. I mean, Admiral played for Naval Academy.
Big
USA
time.
basketball's face man. Coach K's USA, he probably didn't. There was never a chance in that kid's life that he was going anywhere else.
No.
Where's E.J. Montgomery going?
He's going to a very nice university.
He is.
Well,
Why don't you get E.J. to make the announcement live on our show?
Well, we'll see what we can do. But by the way,
that'd be big.
The McDonald's game is coming up March the 28th in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to get that in there.
Let's go and support our kids.
That's it. March 28th. That's the Thursday before Easter or something close to. Anyway, we'll get out of here. Nick, we went long today. How long we went on this show?
An hour and 15 minutes.
Well, an hour and 15 minutes is just me and you talking.
Yeah, and we didn't use bad language or anything.
Didn't say nothing bad about nobody.
Right.
Except didn't say nobody was fat. Nothing like that. My phone's rang off the hook. It's our first Facebook Live. What do you think about that?
They probably called and said, do you know you're live?
Oh, my wife's done. That's who called twice. Won't know why we was doing on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
She don't like me doing Facebook Live, I don't think.
He didn't mention Sweden this time either.
Didn't mention Sweden. Nick, where we getting listeners from, by the way?
All over. Canada blew up recently. We got California still growing. We've had 50 listens to our last show just this morning.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I checked up the stats. Yeah, it blew my mind too.
Yeah. There it is.
You know what? We might have something here. Hey, appreciate you listening. You've been listening to Real Life Basketball, a product of BG Ad Group. Thank you to our sponsors, Carriage Automotive Group in Georgia, Julio Jones Automotive Group over in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Going to be spending some more time with those great folks in the coming weeks. We're going to have some great coaches come on in the offseason. We're already working on that. Roy Williams already talked to us about coming on. Dick Vitale has promised to come on with us. I'm going to get our buddy up there at Toccoa Falls, whose team lost 115-30. He's promised to come on with me. And we're going to – he's Toccoa Falls College coach. They played Appalachian State and lost 115. Y'all can look it up. And I want to talk to him about how you move on in the season. Because there's a lot of coaches out there that are looking at their team, and the first thing they're looking at is get out the door. You've talked to them before. Your phone is ringing at 9 o'clock at night and said, Doug, I'm leaving, blah, 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 blah. You said, where you going to go? I don't know. Well, you ain't done nothing where yet, and you just had to keep it real with them. So anyway, so you better concentrate on what you're doing. Everybody, it's like this. Everybody wants to coach the Yankees if you're a baseball coach.
But if you don't have players, you're not going to win.
No.
And we've already come to the conclusion that everybody's in the state finals has a kid on their team that has moved into that area. I don't care where you are located. It's a fact.
Can I ask you this? Why would you move into Meadow Creek's area?
Well, don't prejudge that area because it could be some very, very nice homes, some very good people in that area.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because there are buttholes everywhere.
Yeah, they are.
People think we're buttholes sometimes. Boy, are they confused.
That's right.
But anyway, Meadow Creek and Northcross.
Meadow Creek, Northcross, and Georgia State Championship. Going to be a big game. Where's the kid from Newton going to end up going?
Well, he was supposed to leave, but then they said he was coming back for his senior year.
Who knows?
Yeah, but he's good enough to go now.
He's good enough to go wherever he wants.
Right now.
Right now. Mm-hmm. Could he go to the NBA draft right now?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, shout out to your buddy Jalen.
Yes.
Jalen Brown. You
Very
need to bring
much.
that up.
Yes.
Going to be speaking at Harvard University.
He did.
He did.
And it was great.
Good,
Yes.
good. We'll get into more of that. Jalen going to be on with us for long. Here he
Yeah,
go.
yeah, we're going to have to kidnap him some.
You know, if he can speak to Harvard, he can speak to us.
Almost done.
Come on. Got to keep it home. Got to keep it real. All right, Real Life Basketball production of BG Ag Group Network. Thanks again to our sponsors, Carriage Automotive Group, Julio Jones Kia, and everyone involved. Doug, it's been a pleasure. Nick Paparelli, a producer, going to be with us just a little longer before he quits. You know he's quitting us, Coach. Did you know
Oh,
that?
where's he going? CBS?
CBS.
The only way up. ESPN?
ESPN on the way up. We'll talk to you soon. You're listening to Real Life Basketball. Tell your friends. Watch us on Facebook. Everybody say bye-bye.
Peace.
Peace.